A business can only grow in 3 ways, and today we're going to cover how this framework applies to your gym. My name is Mark Fisher from Business for Unicorns, and I am so excited to share this very famous business framework for you, because I gotta tell you, if you're not really thinking through all 3 of these pillars, you're not going to see the growth you want to be seeing in your gym. You're going to find yourself plateaued a lot, and you're going to be spending all of your time accidentally only focusing on one of the pillars, and at best, it's going to leave you underperforming compared to how you could be doing if you're actually thinking about all 3. Because when we think about all 3, now we have multiple levers that we can be pulling to see growth in your gym. And then we get to see the business grow steadily over time, month over month. And then often a cool thing happens. Suddenly, learning about the numbers of your business becomes fun because it's a game you're winning and you're seeing the right numbers go up over time. More revenue, more income, and more happy clients getting great results working with your gym. So let me attribute this to Jay Abraham, who is a hero of any marketing nerd. He's written a number of awesome books, including what I think is one of the top marketing books of all time, Getting Everything You Can Out of All You've Got. And Jay Abraham was the first person to highlight that businesses can only grow in 3 ways. That's it, there's only 3 ways. You can get more customers, you can get your current customers to pay more, and you can get your current customers to buy more frequently. The biggest mistake most gym owners make is they only focus on the first pillar. They're only ever focused on getting more clients. And listen, that's a part of the game. That's a very important pillar, I'm not gonna lie. But a lot of you have opportunities right now to offer other and better and different solutions to your current clients to make sure you're charging what you're worth. And if you're paying out monthly, maybe not necessarily paying more frequently, but at the very least, paying for longer periods of time. So let's unpack these a little bit here. Now, getting more members is what a lot of you are already focused on. And I would just, in the spirit of helping make sure you're really crossing your T's and dotting your I's here, think through what I consider to be the 4 most important pieces of getting new members. First of all, there is marketing that is generating the leads or helping more people know you exist in the first place, because to say something that's so obvious, it's silly. No one can buy anything from you if they don't know you exist. So there's lead generating activities, right? Things that help people know you exist. And then there's lead nurturing, right? So once people know you exist, in a perfect world, we find some way to stay in touch with them on the regular. Now, it's possible some of this nurturing is just through what's called the mere exposure effect. They're just seeing you everywhere. You're omnipresent. Everyone knows you exist because everywhere they go, they see you. They're seeing you on paid Google and Facebook ads. They're getting direct mail sent to their house. They're seeing you advertising in magazines. They see flyers everywhere. They see you as a sponsor. They see you at the farmer's market. They see you at the health fair. They see you everywhere. And certainly the mere exposure effect is one way for people to like and trust you over time. But I think a more impactful way to do that is to find some channel to provide value building content. The most common ones here tend to be email marketing. So once you have contact information in email, you can send them valuable content over time. You can do the same thing with organic social media marketing, which for most of you is going to be Instagram. And again, we're providing content that's valuable. So over time, they like you, they find you relatable, you're giving them content that's entertaining, they're helping know who you are as a person, they're helping understand how your gym works, you're showing case studies of clients, you're giving them education so they know how to get the results they're looking for, so you get them results in advance. And then it's through these platforms ultimately that we can start to make offers. And then we move from marketing into sales. Because the way that I think through this, once they've raised their hand and said, okay, I'm interested in what you're doing, I have tried to set up a sales call, I have given you my contact information on a website homepage or a Facebook ad or a landing page for some kind of front-end offer, well, now we're into the selling process, right? We've done the marketing, they've raised their hand, now we want to move them forward. I also cut up sales into 2 pieces. We have sales follow-up, and then the sales conversation. Because remember, once they've expressed interest in your services, that's really just the beginning of the process, because a lot of people, particularly in today's day and age, you're still gonna have to do a ton of follow-up just to get in touch with them in the first place, because a ton of people, for any number of reasons, will ghost you, right? They just lose their nerve, they're not sure if it's the right fit anymore. It's one of the reasons why we hammer so hard. You have to reach out right away. You need speed if you wanna get the lead. If you have some kind of automations built out where they automatically get a text or an email, that's great. But we also, in a perfect world, wanna stop, drop, and roll and call them whenever humanly possible within 5 minutes, so we have the opportunity to contact them as soon as possible. Now, a lot of times that's not gonna happen, so when we're talking about the sales follow-up, oftentimes we're talking about repeatedly emailing, calling, And I think really the first 14 days are the most important. I'd probably even say the first 7 days are the most important, but some of our time as we get new members is gonna have to be spent just following up leads. And then of course, the final piece in sales is the actual conversation itself, which ideally is a well-structured convo where you are taking them through a process of helping them get clear on what is it they want, why haven't they gotten it, why does that matter to them? Explain how what you do creates those outcomes and overcomes those obstacles, and then makes a clear prescription, makes a clear ask with a clear offer for them to take action and work with you and achieve their goals by signing up for your gym. So that's the first bucket. I think most of us know what this is. Maybe we're not doing this as consistently as we should or as well as we should, but I think that's probably what a lot of you are already thinking about when we think about how to make the gym more successful. So let's talk about these two other pillars. The second pillar is getting your current members or clients to pay more. Now, to be clear, we're not just like jacking up rates for no reason. This isn't like, I'm gonna get more of your money. Ideally, if we're doing this in a high integrity way, we're just thinking of other things that can be helpful for them. But before we talk about things like upgrades or ancillary services, I do want to acknowledge it is true that for a lot of you in a lot of markets, you're not charging what you're worth. So we have an amazing resource. If you haven't checked it out yet, you can click on the link in the description box below and get our Raise Your Rates playbook. This is a dead simple, under 3-page, super valuable playbook for understanding what are the considerations to raise my rates. There are copy-pastable email templates that you can send out. There's also considerations if you look at the numbers we recommend and find yourself wildly below for how to do what I call a correction. Because in some situations, it's not uncommon to see a gym owner charging literally half of what they should be charging in a given market. And if that's the case, your numbers are just never gonna work. Now, I have to say, I really understand a lot of people get nervous when we say that, and that can feel confronting, and you're nervous, and you're already getting price objections. And what I gotta tell you is it doesn't matter what you charge, you're always gonna get some price objections. And I'm also gonna say, look, you can do this wrong and really mess this up, so don't do it wrong, do it well. Click on the link below and get the Raise Your Rates playbook. You'll get it instantly downloaded. And then if you're finding you are massively undercharging for your market, you get an easy playbook for what to do. Because I think for a lot of people, that's the silver bullet. There are no silver bullets in business, but the closest thing to immediately increase your income next month is if you're not charging what you should be, charge what you should be. You're worth it. Now, leaving aside increasing the rates on the core offer themselves, of course, the other things we can do are provide people a higher level of service or other things that can support them in achieving the goals that they want. So we're talking about a higher level service, it's really just upgrades, right? So if they're already coming, let's say 2 times per week, and you know they get better, fast results with 3 times per week, we wanna consider, are there plays that we can move them into a higher tier of service, a more comprehensive solution? An example of this might be offering some or even all of your members a complimentary window to upgrade for no rate to try what it's like to come to the gym 3 times per week instead of 2, with of course some kind of offer to invite them to keep going after that complimentary window. Now, another version of this could be bolting on another service that they need but they're not getting. It's no secret, nutrition is part of the game for most of our clients getting the results they want. So maybe you do some bolting on of some nutrition service that now means that not only are you making more per month on average for that client, but that client is getting a better result. Now, in addition to upgrades, the other bucket we have is what I call ancillary offers. So ancillary offers are extra things that are not the core offer what you do, but are still good and worth considering selling. So examples here might be things like supplements, might be things like merchandise, and if it's totally separate, maybe even other products like a separate nutrition coaching service, depending on how you bundle it. Now, I'll say this can go wildly wrong depending on how much capacity you have and how you do this. Listen, there are gyms in the world that make, in some cases, tens of thousands of dollars per year, sometimes 6 figures or more in just things like supplements or merchandise. But it's only gonna work if you do it well. And I would say this, again, it's hard for me to give any recommendation. I don't know the context of your business, but if you are not maximizing or even remotely maximizing your core offer, this could be a distraction that's not particularly helpful, but a mature gym should be offering all the solutions that are related to what you do that your clients are gonna be buying anyway, right? If your clients sign up for your gym, they're gonna likely go and buy new shoes anyway, they're gonna buy workout gear. like, I think it's more than half of the population is buying supplements. Well, they might as buy them from a trusted source like you that you know you're gonna give them good stuff. In exchange for you curating a great solution, of course, that can be another way for the business to make profit. Now, as we transition to the third bucket, I would note that in Jay Abraham's original model, it's get more members, get your members to pay more, get your members to pay more frequently. Now, I might suggest, if I was being hyper precise, that arguably having them buy things like merchandise or maybe even one-off extra packs from time to time, one-off extra sessions, class, etc. Those are probably closer to truly buying more frequently, but I think more actionable for the training gym owner is how do we keep our clients paying longer? Because obviously a client that sticks around for 4 months is not as valuable to the business as a client that sticks around for 12 months. So retention is a big and complicated topic, and it's something that I think everyone knows is important, but the reality is it's impacted by a lot of things. There's a lot of things that go on retention. There are, real talk, things that are not gonna be in your control because there's gonna be people that move, there's gonna be lifestyle changes, there's gonna be health events, there's gonna be all sorts of reasons why your clients don't stay forever. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't think about the things that are gonna help support our clients being more likely to stick around. So at Business for Unicorns, we think about this in 2 big buckets, and then there are 2 sub buckets. Bucket 1 is awesome sessions, what happens in the workout itself, and bucket 2 is the client life cycle. What are the things that are happening when they're not in the session that are helping them have a great experience and achieve goals as a result of being a member of your gym? So in the awesome sessions bucket, or as we sometimes call it, client experience, we have 2 more pieces. We have the customer service experience and the training experience. Customer service are what are the standard operating procedures that happen every single session that make sure it's always an awesome customer service session. And these could be examples such as say the client's name X many times over the course of the session. It could be some standard around always ask a body worker check-in question at the beginning of the session to create some conversation for the client to share what's going on. Maybe you have standards to ask them about reflecting on what's going well, which means they'll start to identify your place as a gym I go to and I feel better because I stop and think about things that are going good in my life with my fitness. And then related, but I do think of a little bit separately, of course, there is the actual training experience. Are you great at program design? Are you great at looking at a client doing a deadlift and understanding how to use cueing to effectively get them into a better position? And the point that I always like to make here is this. In practice, the training skill, your acumen as a fitness professional matters because over the long tail, you will get better results and you'll be more likely to keep them injury-free. However, over the short tail, this is one of the ways you're establishing expertise and helping create a great session. Because at the end of the day, yes, they want their goals, but what a lot of people are also partly paying for is the experience of the workout itself. Now, the other thing that we need to consider is what happens when they're not in the session, the client life cycle. And once again here, I'll split this into 2 big buckets. I got onboarding and retention. Onboarding is the first 90 days from the moment the person says they're gonna work with you. What are the systems you have in place to make sure you've wrapped their arms around them? I'll give you one quick pro tip. I love sending a personal video within 24 hours from the owner, congratulating the person on taking the step towards their goals and assuring them how excited you and the entire team are to be working with them and how much you're looking forward to having them be a part of the gym. Other things that might go along with this might be some sort of dedicated system to check in and make sure they're coming to the gym 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks in, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. Maybe there is some light email onboarding sequence to give them some more information about how to both be successful at the gym and overall achieve the best possible results for their goals. Maybe you do some sort of special moments of wow for new members where you send them swag at various points throughout the first 90 days. But I think it's important to highlight the first 90 days, we really have an opportunity to wrap our arms around people. And I would say similar to lead follow-up, you really gotta think the first couple of days, right? What can we do to get them wins fast and make sure they know how to be successful and avoid the chance of them feeling stupid and not understanding how your gym works. Now, the other bucket are these long tail retention systems, and these might be things like client of the month programs. Maybe you have a milestone awards where clients at a certain point are celebrated after X many workouts. Maybe you do, as I strongly suggest, cards on a regular basis where you celebrate your clients for personal wins, you console them for personal challenges, or maybe, as I suggest you do, I do this with all of my businesses, you create some sort of even modest budget for personalized gifts that the staff collectively is accountable to make sure is spent each month to send clients gifts and things that say, hey, we see you, we love you. And then of course, depending on your gym and your model, we might batch in things here if you do some sort of quarterly or every 4-month or 6-month check-in with the clients, or anything else to make sure your clients are not falling off. For instance, another thing I think that all of you need is some kind of missing in action report where you periodically run the numbers to understand at the very least who is not showing up after 2, 3, 4 weeks, so you can track them down and see what's going on, see how you could support them as a coach. Or to step up from that, analyzing the percentage of their sessions that they're using. So if they're not in your gym, let's call it 8 times per month, or if they have a smaller membership, if they're not there, let's say, 75% for the sessions they've signed up for, that is flight risk, right? And that is not only not good for your business, it's not good for you as a coach and you doing the thing you said you would do, which is help them achieve their goals. All right, friends, well, I hope you found this framework valuable. As a reminder, getting new members is totally important. We want to do that, but there are 3 ways that we want to be growing your business. So make sure you're also remembering to charge what you're worth, to offer more comprehensive solutions, and also make sure we're doing all the things we can do to really keep your members happy and taken care of and achieving the results for the long haul. Now, we covered a lot of stuff today, so in order to help you take some action here, I would love for you to take a moment, maybe pause the video and decide what is one thing based on today's video that you can execute, you can start doing this week that's gonna get better results to have a more successful gym that's taking even better care of your clients and help you grow the revenue month over month by making other people's lives better. And don't forget, if you know you are massively undercharging, you're not charging your worth, click the link in the description box below, download the Raise Your Rates playbook. I promise you're gonna find it super valuable. And if you love these ideas, but maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed and you're not sure where to start, you want some support, well, that's exactly what we do. We work with people in our coaching group exclusively for brick and mortar gym owners, the Unicorn Society. So if you're interested in finding out how Business for Unicorns can help you achieve more income, more impact, and more freedom, click on the link in the description box below and find out more about joining us in the Unicorn Society. And if now is not the time, that's no problem at all. There are also a number of awesome, super free resources, including but not limited to our podcast, our Instagram channel, and yes, the YouTube is a subscribable thing. Bing! All right, friends, thank you as always for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Hope it was valuable for you. I look forward to seeing you next time, where I shall share with you more actionable tips, psychological frameworks, and philosophy.